in Brazil, the major physical landforms are the Brazilian highlands in the south and the Amazon River Basin, which is located in the north. The major rivers and bodies of water are the Amazon River and also the southern Brazil River, which is drained by the Plateau system, and Paraguay, Uruguay, and Parana. The climates in Brazil are mainly tropical and temperate in the south. The natural resources that can be found are bauxite, gold, iron ore, magnesia, nickel, phosphates, platinum, tin, uranium, petroleum, hydropower, and timber. The environmental concerns located in Brazil are droughts in the northeast, floods and occasional frost in the south, and deforestation in the Amazon River Basin. There's also major air and water pollution in large cities.
The total population in Brazil is 201,103,330. The growth rate is at 1.1%, and the life expectancy is 72.26 years. The literary rate is 88.6, and the core areas of population are in Rio de Janeiro and other urban areas. Major cities are Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, and Brasilia, which is the capital. Okay. Some important history. Very little is known about Brazil before the 1500s, because it's part of the New World and all. The area of Brazil is believed to be inhabited by indigenous people for at least 8,000 years. The indigenous tribes are believed to have come to Brazil by being the first migrant hunters to come from the Americas. Okay, and then colonial. Many European powers were attracted to Brazil's vast natural resources. French colonists tried to settle a colony in present-day Rio de Janeiro in 1555 and present-day São Luís from 1612 to 1614. The Dutch warred with the Portuguese over Brazil and formally withdrew in 1661. And they gained independence from Europe on September 7th, 1822. And then in the modern history, they played parts in both world wars. In World War I, they took a part in submarine warfare, and they developed a constitution on October 5th, 1988. And they have a huge and major drug cartel, which is very bad. It became the first South American country to accept women in its military ranks.
In Brazil, the official language is Portuguese. The other languages included are Spanish, English, and French. The major religion is Roman Catholic, and that includes 74% of the population. And the Protestants only make up 15%. The belief systems are spiritualistic, is only 1%, and the majority are atheists. Major holidays or festivals is Carnival, and that is a huge party used to celebrate many things in the Brazilian culture. One other major holiday is Independence Day, which is on September 7th for Brazil. Transportation and communication. There are 29,252 kilometers of railways in Brazil. The highways include 1,751,868 kilometers, and the waterways are 50,000 kilometers. The education is 5% of GDP goes towards educating Brazil's young people. And most Brazilian children go to 14 years of school. The major foods eaten in Brazil are feijoada, and that is the most common type.
Okay.
Just kidding, I'll do that. The major clothing in Brazil is most of the people wear very bright and festive colors, which helps with their morale in the country.
Some major foods in Brazil, they have a lot of street food. Feijoada is the most common food, and it's like beans and rice with like meat in it. And then palo de queijo is the cheese bread, and it is so good. Farofa is like, it's a condiment, and I don't really know how to explain it. It's like a coarse flour kind of, and I don't know, it gives like a little bit of flavor. And then the recreation, soccer is huge there. And in 2006, when Brazil won the World Cup, that was like, everything just like explodes, like the city's like goes crazy. Some political geography. They have a federal republic for their form of government. They have executive, legislative, and judicial, just like us. Their current leader is Dilma Rousseff. She's the president. Some important domestic issues. They are the second largest consumer of cocaine in the world. Uruguay and the Brazilian border has narcotic and weapon smuggling. Some important international issues. There's an unruly region, like at the convergence of the Argentina, Brazil, and Paraguay borders, and that again has like drug smuggling. Types of economy. They have a market economy, division of labor force. 20% are in agriculture, 14% in industry, and 66% are in services. The per capita GDP is $10,200, and the percent of the population below the poverty line is 26%. Some other economic issues, they are in a global financial crisis, and since 2008, and many of them live in favelas, which are like homemade like shacks, I guess, and they are pretty much built of anything they could find, like cardboard, like those little like textile tile looking things, and yeah, it's really sad. Some important people in Brazil are Edison Arantes do Nascimento, and he's more commonly referred to as Pele, and he's a world-renowned soccer player, considered the best in the world, and the government, he's so good that the government of Brazil considers him an asset. There's Andre Pavel, and he's an inventor, and he actually invented the little Walkman radio, which like plays tapes, I think. And then there's Sergio Vieira de Mayo, and he was one of the first diplomats of Brazil, and he was fluent in 5 different languages.
Oh my god! Important places in Brazil include Cristo Redentor, which is a statue of Jesus located on Mount Corcovado. Another famous place is Ipanema Beach. This is a famous beach which is located in Rio de Janeiro. Another favorite place is Búzios, which is the most famous Brazilian resort and is enjoyed by many high-end residents. Sydney and I's outlook on Brazil is we believe that Brazil is a pretty stable country, even though it still has room to develop. Brazil still has a lot of problems with poverty, what with all the favelas, and a way to solve this problem is to spend more time and attention on the lower classes.